in example 5, if we're just multiplying this, the only difference is now that there are, the only difference is now we have variables. But it's not too much of a difference. I'm going to add the coefficients just like last time. Remember, anytime you multiply, you just multiply the outsides, leave them outside. You multiply the insides, leave them inside, and then simplify or reduce. So here, this is all on the outside, so it's this times 1. Well, that's just 5v squared. Nothing changes. Tack on the square root of 2. And then on the other one, we have 1 times 1. That's just 1. And then you multiply the insides. 2 times the square root of 6v. Well, that's just 12v. And then we try and reduce. This I can't break down anymore. The v, I can't break it down. So that's just v. It stays there. The 12, however, I can break down. That's just 4 times 3. 4 is 2 times 2. Oh, I have a pair. Anytime I have a pair, I take one of them out. So that will be on the outside, and it looks like 3 will be left on the inside. So 2 times the 1 from here, and then this is just 3 and v. The v stays on the inside because I can't reduce it. So that's 5v squared, square root of 2. So really what I have is 5v squared times the square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 3v. And that's my answer. There's really nothing different, except there's a variable in there. Let's look at example 6. Okay, here we go. First step, put in the coefficients, and then multiply. 1 times 4 is just 4. We'll keep the square root of 2x inside there. And then, well, 1 times negative 1, that's negative 1. And then you multiply the insides, remember? So 2 times 2 is 4. So that stays as a 4 on the inside, and then x times x is x squared. Now we have a variable to reduce, which is, it won't be that bad. Here I can't break down 2, it's just 2 times 1, so that stays. And then the x also stays, just because I won't have any pairs. So let's break down this 4. We know that 4 is 2 times 2. Here's a pair, so a 2 comes to the outside. There's a negative 1 times the 2. And there's nothing on the inside, so there's no number on the inside anymore. And then the x squared, that's just x times x. Well, there's another pair. So we have just a regular x on the outside. Remember, anytime you have a pair, you take out a single one to the outside. But that leaves us with nothing on the inside, so we don't have a square root anymore. So we have 4 times the square root of 2x, and that's minus, I guess, 2x. 4 square root 2x minus 2x. That's it. So anytime you have a pair, you take one of them on the outside. Anything left over stays on the inside. And then the leftover, so when you have a pair, you take one and put it on the outside. Anything left over stays on the inside. So there we have that. Let's do example 7. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is put in my coefficients. And it's just one coefficient there. And then you multiply the outsides, so negative 5 times 1 is just negative 5. And you also multiply the insides. 15 times 10 is 150. And the p just stays there. It doesn't have anything to multiply with. So there we go. And then continue to multiply. Well, that's negative 5 times 2p. That's just negative 10p. No radical. Oh, no, we do have a radical, right? Radical 15. Okay. Let's break down 150. The p, there's no possible way I can get any pairs, so that's going to stay on the inside. But the 150, we broke that down already, but I'm going to do it again. Remember, we're looking for pairs here, so that's just 15 times 10, and 3 times 5, 5 times 2. So there's a pair. And then the leftovers stay on the inside. So here I have the negative 5 from this, and then I have a single 5. Remember, when you have pairs, you take one of them and put them on the outside. The other one just gets canceled out by the square root. You can think of it that way at least. And then on the inside is 3 and 2 because they're not pairs. So 3 times 2, and then we also have that p. And then the negative 10p 15, I don't get any pairs. 3 times 5, that's it. That's as far as I can go. So this just stays on the inside. Can't break it down. And if I finish this up, this will be negative 25 times the square root of 6p minus 10p root 15. And I think that's all you could do. I think that will be good enough. I hope it is. Pay attention to those rules in green and the rules from the other video. Alright, goodbye!